DuoTale English.
where every story teaches you English.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to DuoTale English. I am Marcus.
And I am Lena. It is so good to be here with you all again today.
So, Lena, I want to ask you something before we even start today.
Oh, that sounds very serious. Should I be worried?
Not at all. It is actually a very nice question. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, wow. Okay, starting strong.
I thought it was a gentle warm-up question.
No, I love it. Okay, when I was little, I wanted to be a vet. I was absolutely obsessed with animals. I had this whole plan. I was going to have a clinic and only treat cats and rabbits.
Only cats and rabbits? What about dogs?
I did not like dogs when I was young. I was scared of them, actually. I know, very embarrassing.
That is amazing. A vet who is scared of dogs. And what happened to that dream?
I discovered that being a vet involves a lot of biology and chemistry, and I was, let us say, not naturally gifted in those subjects, so that dream quietly disappeared around age 14.
Rest in peace, the cat and rabbit clinic. What about you, Marcus? What did you want to be?
Oh, yes, your turn now.
Okay, I wanted to be an astronaut.
An astronaut?
An astronaut. I was completely serious about it. I used to sleep with a picture of the moon on my wall. I read every book about space I could find.
That is so sweet, actually. When did you give that one up?
I have not fully given it up, honestly.
Marcus.
I'm joking, mostly, but I do still find space absolutely fascinating. I think that childhood dream turned into a lifelong love of learning and exploring, just not in a rocket, unfortunately.
I love that, though. The dream changed shape, but the feeling behind it stayed. The curiosity, the wanting to discover new things.
Exactly, and that is actually a perfect way to introduce today's topic.
It really is, because today we're talking about dreams and goals, how to talk about them naturally in English, and what the difference between the two actually is.
And before we get into it, if you're new to DuoTale English, welcome. Every episode, we have a real conversation built around a real-life story. You learn natural English through listening and feeling, not through grammar drills.
And we always break down the key vocabulary at the end, so just relax and listen for now. And please subscribe. It means so much to us. Okay, shall we?
Let us go.
So, Marcus, before we get into the story, I want to talk about something, because I think a lot of people use the words dream and goal interchangeably, like they mean the same thing, but they do not, do they?
They really do not. And I think confusing the two is actually one of the reasons people feel frustrated when they are not making progress in life.
Yes. Okay, so how would you describe the difference?
For me, a dream is something you imagine, something you feel. It lives in your heart and your emotions. A dream is, I want to travel the world. I want to write a book. I want to live by the sea.
It's the vision, the picture in your mind of a life you want.
Exactly. And a goal is what turns that dream into reality. A goal has a plan, a timeline, specific steps. It is, by the end of this year, I will have saved enough money for a 3-month trip. Or, I will write 1 page every morning before work.
So a dream is the destination, and the goal is the road.
Oh, that is beautifully put. Yes, the dream is the destination, the goal is the road.
And you need both, because a dream without goals is just a wish. It feels nice, but nothing happens. And goals without a dream, well, you might achieve them, but they feel empty, like ticking boxes with no real meaning behind them.
Goals without a dream are just tasks. There's no fire behind them.
Exactly, no fire. And I think talking about your dreams and goals in English is one of the most important and most personal conversations you can have. Because when you tell someone your dreams, you're showing them a part of yourself that most people never share.
It's vulnerable. It takes courage, which is probably why so many people avoid the conversation entirely.
So today, we're going to make that conversation easier through a story. Meet Daniel.
Daniel is 29 years old. He works as an accountant at a financial firm. He's good at his job. He's reliable, precise, detail-oriented. His colleagues respect him.
But Daniel has a secret dream, one that he's never told anyone at work, one that he barely admits to himself.
Daniel wants to be a photographer.
Not just a hobbyist with a nice camera, a real photographer, someone who travels to interesting places and captures the kind of moments that make people stop and feel something.
He's been taking photos since he was 16. He has thousands of them on his hard drive. Some of them are genuinely beautiful. His friends always tell him that when he shares one occasionally. But he always brushes it off. Oh, it's just a hobby. It's nothing really.
Oh, I hate that. When people say that about something they clearly love and are clearly good at, it's nothing really, as if having a passion is something to be embarrassed about.
He says it because he's scared. If he says it out loud, if he calls it a real dream, then he has to do something about it. And that's terrifying.
The moment you name a dream out loud, it becomes real, and real things can fail, and that's the scariest part.
Exactly. So Daniel keeps the dream quiet. He takes photos on weekends. He edits them late at night after work. He follows photographers he admires on social media and thinks, I wish. But he never takes the next step.
Until one Saturday morning, he's at a local market, just walking around, camera in hand, and he photographs an old woman selling flowers, and the light is perfect, and the expression on her face is extraordinary, and he captures it in one single shot.
And he looks at that photo on his camera screen and thinks, that's the best thing I've ever made. And for the first time, he doesn't brush it off. He doesn't say, it's nothing really. He just sits with that feeling, that quiet pride, that recognition that I made something that matters.
And that evening, he does something he's never done before. He sends the photo to a local magazine, just a small one, with a short message saying he's a photographer and he'd love to contribute.
Oh, the courage that takes. That one small email, that's enormous.
It is enormous, because for Daniel, sending that email means admitting to the world that he has a dream, and that he wants to pursue it, and that he believes he's good enough to try.
3 beliefs that he's been running away from for years.
So the magazine writes back. They say, we love this photo. Can you send us more? And something unlocks inside Daniel. A door that he had kept firmly shut for years suddenly opens just a crack.
And here is where the shift happens, because up until now, photography was a dream, a beautiful floating wish. But now, Daniel makes it a goal. He sits down and he writes a list.
I love this part. What does he write?
He writes, Goal 1, build a proper portfolio. 25 photos that I'm proud of, done by the end of the month.
Specific, measurable, has a deadline. That's a real goal.
Goal 2, reach out to 5 local businesses about taking photos for their websites. Just 5, not 50, just 5.
Small and achievable, not overwhelming. Perfect.
Goal 3, save enough money over the next 6 months to buy one better piece of equipment. Not everything at once, just one thing.
He's being so sensible about it. He's not quitting his job tomorrow. He's not throwing everything away. He's just building, slowly, steadily, with intention.
And that's the thing about turning a dream into goals. It makes the dream feel possible, not distant and floating anymore, but close, reachable, real.
When was the last time you set yourself a real goal, Marcus? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't mind at all. Actually, this podcast is one of my goals. It was a dream for a long time. I wanted to do something that combined language and storytelling and real human connection. And then, one day, I stopped dreaming about it and I wrote down the steps. And here we are.
That gives me chills, genuinely, because I remember when you first told me about the idea and you said, I don't know if it will work. And I said, so what? Do it anyway.
You did say that, and I am very glad you did. And for me, my current goal is to read 1 book a month this year. It sounds small, but reading fell out of my life somewhere in my mid-20s, and I've been wanting to bring it back. So I made it a goal. I bought a journal, I write down what I read and what I thought about it.
How many have you read so far this year?
3, and we're in March, so I'm actually on track.
Look at you. That's wonderful, Marcus. See, that's what goals do. They keep you on track. They give you something to measure. They make the invisible visible.
Okay, back to Daniel. 1 year has passed. Where is he now?
Daniel is still an accountant. He hasn't quit his job yet. He probably won't for a while, and that's completely okay. But something huge has changed.
What changed?
He has a photography website now. His portfolio has 42 photos on it, not the 25 he aimed for, 42.
He exceeded his own goal.
He exceeded it. That's such a good feeling when that happens. 3 of those local businesses hired him for their websites. One of them recommended him to another business. And on the last weekend of December, a couple paid him to photograph their engagement, his first paid photography job.
His first paid job. That moment when someone pays you for something you love, there's nothing like it. It's validation, but it's more than validation. It's proof. Proof that the dream wasn't silly. Proof that you were right to believe in yourself.
And Daniel sat in his car after that engagement shoot, camera on the passenger seat, and he cried a little, not from sadness, from relief, from, oh, this is real. This is actually happening. I'm becoming the person I always wanted to be.
That is one of the most beautiful feelings a person can experience. Becoming who you wanted to be.
One photo at a time, one goal at a time, one brave email at a time.
Okay, vocabulary time. Today's phrases are all about dreams, goals, and ambition. These are words and expressions you will need every time you talk about your future, your plans, or your aspirations in English.
First, dream big. This is a phrase we use to encourage someone, or ourselves, to have large, ambitious hopes. Do not limit your imagination. For example, my father always told me, dream big and work hard. Or, I am the kind of person who dreams big and figures out the details later.
Second, set a goal. To set a goal means to decide on something specific you want to achieve and commit to working toward it. For example, at the start of every year, I set 3 goals for myself. Or, she set a goal to run a half marathon by the end of the summer.
Third, pursue your passion. To pursue something means to actively go after it. Your passion is the thing you love deeply. So to pursue your passion means to make time and effort for what you truly love. For example, it took me years to pursue my passion for writing. Or, he left his corporate job to pursue his passion for cooking.
Fourth, take the first step. This is an extremely common and useful phrase. It means to do the first action towards something, even when you do not know all the other steps yet. For example, the hardest part is always taking the first step. Or, she did not have a plan. She just took the first step and trusted the rest would follow.
Fifth, a long-term goal. Long-term means over a long period of time, months or years. A long-term goal is something you are working toward but will not achieve quickly. For example, my long-term goal is to become fluent in 3 languages. Or, building his own business was Daniel's long-term goal.
Sixth, make progress. To make progress means to move forward, to get closer to where you want to be. For example, I am slowly making progress with my English every day. Or, she checked her list every week to see the progress she was making.
And the last one, believe in yourself. A simple but powerful phrase. It means to have confidence in your own abilities, to trust that you are capable of what you are going for. For example, the most important thing is to believe in yourself, even when nobody else does yet. Or, he didn't believe in himself for years, but one photo changed all of that.
7 powerful phrases, and every single one of them can change a conversation. When you use these naturally in English, people feel your passion, they feel your intention, they connect with you on a real level.
We are coming to the end of episode 4 of DuoTale English, and I want to say I really loved this one. There is something about talking about dreams that just fills you with energy.
It does, it really does. We started this episode with our own childhood dreams, my astronaut phase.
The astronaut phase that may or may not still be ongoing.
And we followed Daniel from a quiet secret dream to an engagement shoot that made him cry in his car. And in between, we talked about the difference between dreams and goals and why you need both.
A dream without goals is just a wish, and goals without a dream are just tasks. You need the fire and the roadmap.
So, our question of the day is, what is one dream you have? And what is one goal you could set to start moving toward it? Write it in the comments, in English, using today's vocabulary if you can.
We read every single comment, and honestly, reading your dreams and your goals is one of the most inspiring parts of making this podcast, so do not be shy. Share it with us.
Please subscribe to DuoTale English if you have not already. New episode every week, every single one built with care and love for you and your English journey.
Thank you so much for being here. It means everything. And remember, the dream is the destination. The goal is the road. Now, start walking. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Lena. Keep dreaming and keep going.
Bye, Marcus. See you all next week.